My wife is crazy. She glues me, put feathers on me. She even wrote R.I.P. on my forehead and fingernail polish.
I married a kid. I did it twice. I can't believe I did it. I punish him like a child. He's a big child. He needs to be punished like a child.
She glued me from head to toe, Your Honor, and cut open a pillow and sprinkled feathers all over me.
He wanted to be a chicken. I felt he ought to look like one.
Burned my clothes, cut my clothes.
I melted a plastic spoon on his head.
Ooh! I think a Hollywood writer would love you on the scary movies. So what about a slippery bag?
I just put a plastic bag in front of the door and put some oil on it and hollered fire, but he never ran and slipped on it. I thought maybe he'd run out the room and fall.
Ooh, you are vicious.
James Peterson says he still loves his wife Janice Johnson, even though she constantly punished him. But she says after 5 failed marriages, she wants out. In today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Judge Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Janice Johnson versus James Peterson. And this is a very interesting case. I'm told that you've been married twice.
Yes.
And this is the second time around to the same persons, right?
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
And it didn't last the first time, not lasting the second time. You want a divorce. And all you want him to do is to get out of your house.
Yes.
And you say, well, she give me some money, I get out.
Yeah, I need to relocate.
But I can't get out unless she gives me the money.
That's right.
What's going on, Mrs. Johnson?
Well, when James and I decided to get married, he told me that he was, ready for the responsibility. I told him how hard it would be marrying a woman that's twice his age almost, with adult children and grandchildren. He said he was ready for that responsibility.
So now, how many children did you have?
4.
Okay, and then what happened?
So we got married, and unfortunately, he wasn't there.
What happened?
He hung out too much. He was out in the streets more than he was at home.
How long did you know him before you married him?
2 years.
2 years, and what was he doing in that 2 years in terms of finances?
He worked from time to time, part-time jobs.
But so
Tried to
work
help me
wasn't
out.
really important to you?
No.
You really wanted him more emotionally?
Yes.
How long did the first marriage last?
Well, I filed for a divorce right after 28 days when I seen he was going to continue doing the things that he was doing.
28-day marriage? My goodness. How many times have you been married?
5.
Oh, come on now. This is your 5th marriage and you talking about you
Twice
didn't
for
see
me,
it?
Your Honor.
So this was your 4th marriage and then second time around made it 5?
Yes.
Okay, so now let me hear your version of this.
Well, I was in love with the woman. I'm still in love with her. But it's just all the problems she put me through, gluing me with Elmer's glue, putting
What'd you
feathers
say?
on me. Yeah, one night,
Elmer's glue?
Elmer's glue.
On your body?
on my body.
Now you tell me that one. What did she do with it? How did she do that?
Well, I came home one night.
And you smiling about it. Isn't that something?
Yeah, because it's
like
funny
that glue?
now. It's
Oh.
funny now.
Okay, tell me this.
So when I came home, I went to sleep. And see, I'm a hard sleeper. I can sleep through a California earthquake. Two
Yeah,
of
so
them.
that makes 2 of us. I slept through a lot of them. Have you done that too?
Oh, yeah, I've been in California
Yeah, I
all
slept
my
through
life.
all of them, honey. I don't even know. They have to tell me about it later.
So-
Go on.
So she glued me from head to toe, Your Honor, and cut open a pillow and sprinkled feathers all over me.
Now, I've heard of tar and feather, but glue and feather. What, you take a down pillow and sprinkle feather? Try to
Yeah.
make you her little bird?
Yeah, I figured she was trying to turn me into what she caught me with, a chicken.
Oh, what do you mean a chicken?
Because when I first met her, she gave me a piece of chicken. And they say the way to a man's heart is through his stomach. And after that chicken, I've been there ever since.
Oh, no. The piece of chicken got you.
That's what got me.
And you were hooked from then on.
I was hooked like a fish. But it was all good in the beginning before the marriage. It seemed like after the first marriage, that's when everything went downhill.
So what's the glue and feathers? What's that about, Miss Johnson? Now, that's a new one.
He wanted to be a chicken. I felt he ought to look like one. He was too chicken to take his responsibility and stay in the home and take care of the home like he was supposed to.
Yeah, and all I do
And
is hang out.
so when you glued him down with Elmer's glue and put the feathers on him, what was that supposed to do?
Humiliate him. I thought maybe when he was picking off the feathers, it would pick sense into itself, but it didn't work.
So what pushed you to do that?
Insanity drove me crazy.
Oh, come on now. What particular incident occurred that you decided, well, tonight I'm going to put Elmer's glue on you and put feathers on you?
I have no idea. That was the only way I knew how to lash out at him. I figured I was teaching him a lesson. I was
What
going
were
to
you
punish him.
lashing out at? What had he done? Did not come home?
Oh, he strolled in about 4 o'clock in the morning with no
It wasn't that
explanation.
late.
Anyway, I have no idea where I never know where he goes. He loses his memory when he's out.
And when he comes home, he can't tell you
He
anything.
doesn't remember where he went.
So you let him go to sleep, and then you glued him down and put feathers on him.
Yeah, I wanted to know that anything could happen when he's in that state. He can't take care of me when he can't even wake up when somebody's touching him.
Oh, so I know you learned your lesson on that one, and you never went out again, did you, Mr.
Not
Mr.
for
Peterson?
a while.
Oh, how long did it take you?
A couple of weeks.
Oh, my goodness. 2 weeks, and then he was out again?
Yeah, because, Yana, now, I'm a young man. Being in the house all day, it drives a person crazy. So I like to get out and smell some fresh air, talk to my buddies, that's all.
That's all you were doing?
That's all I do.
No other women?
Oh, no, ain't no other women.
So where were you going till 4 o'clock in the morning?
It wasn't no 4 o'clock, Yana.
Okay, so where
Stores
were
don't
you
be
when you
open
were
that
out
late.
all
He don't
night?
know how to tell time.
Where were you? Oh, really?
At a
Yeah,
friend's
because he
house.
always come in 3, 4 o'clock in the morning and say it was 11 or 12.
Well, wait a minute now. So it seems like to me then you should have given him a watch. Since he
I
couldn't
did.
tell
I
time.
gave him about 15 watches. Every mistake, I'd buy a new watch, and he'd get rid
So
of the
why
watches.
didn't you just sit him down and teach him how to tell time?
He knows how to tell time. That's just his excuse.
Oh.
Yes, Yana, I don't have no curfew. I'm grown.
So what was your curfew with her? So you did this in
No,
spite?
the curfew with her was don't go nowhere.
So you came in late just to show her that I'm a grown man. I come in when I get ready.
Nah, that ain't why I did it. I just did it because I did it. It happened and it happened. That's it. That's all.
So that was your lifestyle, just going out all the time at night?
No, it wasn't all the time. Just every once in a while. Or I may go over to a friend's house and watch a basketball game or something.
Now, I watch basketball, and that game's over by 10 o'clock.
Yeah, but I was supposed to be at home by 8 o'clock. Leave it to her.
Oh, so you were way past your curfew.
Way past the curfew.
When divorce court continues.
You put nail polish in the man's hair?
Yeah.
That's one ball today.
All this
Yana.
was to teach him a lesson, but he can't be taught a lesson.
Rest in peace sounds like you were telling him to die.
At the time, I wish he would drop dead.
Is your marriage ending because your spouse criticized your appearance or your weight? Call us at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at www.divorcecourt.com. Divorce court continues in the case of Janice Johnson, who poured glue and feathers on her husband James because he came home late.
Was this the first marriage or the second marriage that you did this?
First marriage.
And that still didn't hold him down. And you still married him a second time around.
Yes, I did.
So were there any other incidents of this nature?
Yeah, during the second marriage,
What'd you do then?
I gave him a birthday party, and then I went to take my daughter home after it got late. And when I came back, he was gone partying. Left his birthday party. We didn't get to cut the cake, do the champagne or nothing. He decided he wanted to go hang out in the streets. Came back 4 o'clock in the
I went to
morning.
the club.
Club, streets, whatever. Club had been closed long since when he came stumbling in.
Okay.
And went straight to sleep, no explanation. He been where he been.
All right. And so
so-
what'd you do to that?
I got the red nail polish out, and since he wanted to rest, he wanted me to leave him alone, let him rest. I wrote R.I.P. Rest in peace. with
What'd you
red
write
nail
that?
polish. Huh?
What'd
I
you write
shaved
that?
a piece of hair off the back of his head and wrote it in the back of his head.
R.I.P. with nail polish?
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
To show him that you can
She's
sleep
crazy.
through anything. You can't be sleeping through anything and do
Now
anything.
tell me, what is the nail? You put nail polish in the man's head?
Yeah.
That's one ball today,
All this was
Yana.
to teach him a lesson, but he can't be taught a lesson.
Rest in peace sounds like you were telling him to die.
At the time, I wish he would have dropped dead.
So you sure that's all you did was put nail polish? You sure you didn't put a little nail polish in his mouth?
No.
You didn't put anything in his stomach to try to kill him? You said rest in peace.
Ain't no telling, Yana.
Did you do anything else, Miss Johnson?
No, I didn't do anything illegal.
You sure about it? Mm-hmm. What do you mean illegal?
I didn't do anything
Nothing's illegal in terms of doing something to him to try to kill him until somebody finds out you've done it.
Oh,
So what'd you do?
I melted a plastic spoon on his head.
Ooh! And you tried to burn him to death?
No, I didn't try to burn him to death. I thought maybe he'd see the spoon and figure I'm feeding him. Don't bite the hand that feeds you.
Oh my goodness. Ooh, you are vicious. Do you know
No,
that?
I'm not vicious.
Oh,
How do
yes,
you
you
come up
are.
with these ideas? Where does this come from in your brain?
I have no idea.
I think a Hollywood writer would love you on the scary movies. So did you have any other little tricks that you did to try to keep him away?
No,
keep him in the
other
house?
than burn up his clothes, that was about it.
Burn my clothes, cut my clothes, threw my keys in a garbage can. When, I don't know. I don't have them anymore.
Your car keys or your house keys?
No,
car keys.
So you can't drive your car?
Well, that car is gone now. I got another one now.
And you can easily get another set of keys made too, right?
Yeah.
If he had an income, I wasn't gonna give him the money to make the keys that I threw away.
Well, that only takes $1. You didn't have $1?
No.
Yeah.
So
But
what about a slippery bag? You did something about a slippery bag by the bed?
Yeah, on another incident.
So tell me about that one.
I just put a plastic bag in front of the door and put some oil on it and hollered fire, but he never ran and slipped on it.
Wait a minute.
He never even budged. He just laid there.
He was asleep. You took a plastic bag. What kind of oil did you put on it?
Like vegetable oil.
By his bedside.
By the door. I thought maybe he'd run out the room and fall.
Oh my goodness. So when you yelled fire, he never got up.
He never moved a muscle. I said, if it's fire, you just had to burn up.
I sleep
Did any
hard,
of the
y'all.
children run by out the door?
They were standing there watching.
Oh, so you all were part of this. All of them was part of
They
this.
weren't part of
was
it. They,
probably
they
like
were
a
just
show for
standing there.
them.
So
But
that's
they were
really,
used to
that's
the-
really a nice thing
the
to do.
shenanigans.
What do you
No,
think you
it's
were
not a
teaching
nice
those
thing to do.
children? That's real healthy. I'm gonna make this man stay in the house. I'm gonna put vegetables.
No, I was trying to teach them don't put up with people's crap unnecessarily.
That's not teaching them that. You
look
were
all the
showing them
crap I
how
puts up
vicious
with.
you were.
The divorce court continues.
Why are you crying?
Because I'm through. I'm fed up with him. I just want him out of my house, out of my life, and I'm
But the
through playing
man
the game.
leaves and you call him to come back, so you don't want him out.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at www.divorcecourt.com. Divorce court continues in the case of Janice Johnson, who burned her husband's clothes to teach him a lesson.
So where you burn the clothes when you burn them? Where'd you do this? Outside? In the house?
It was bonfire in the backyard.
Oh my goodness. Where you live, on the farm?
No, but we have a big backyard with a great big patio.
Do you know everything you did said to your children, this is the way you problem solve. So when your youngest child standing there watching you do this silly stuff, when they have a problem, or the oldest in their relationships, they may do something stupid just like that, and somebody end up getting burned or getting hurt seriously. That's not nice.
Do that.
Excuse me?
They didn't see all the stunts. The only thing they seen was the plastic bag stunt. They don't even know about the.
What about the hair?
And tell me something. Mr. Peterson, through all of this, throwing the plastic bag, fingernail polish in your hair, I'm trying to vision that. Did you take a picture? Did it stop you from going out?
No.
So I quit doing stuff to him, and decided to get rid of him. But he refused
So
to
did you
leave.
throw him out the house over and over and over?
Over and over again, and he keep coming back.
No.
And he
And you
refused to
keep
leave.
allowing him to come back.
Yeah.
It's both of us, Yana. Sometimes she'll call me to come over to talk, and I go.
Well, so tell me, Mr. Peterson, what are you doing to this woman that you just have her so excited about you that no matter how long you stay out, no matter what you do, and no matter what she does to you, you keep coming back and she keeps asking for you to come back. What you got going on, Mr. Peterson?
Love.
It's not love.
Love.
It's not love.
So tell me your version of it through all of that. What were you thinking? Why would you stay with her? Why don't you want to leave?
I must be crazy too, Yana, because I still don't want to leave.
Are you working?
Yes, ma'am.
What you doing?
Security.
So does she buy all your clothes?
Nah.
She said she bought all your clothes.
She ain't bought all the clothes she tears up is the nice looking clothes I got that she's afraid
That I bought.
when I leave, I'm gonna go be with another woman in my nice threads.
So she always burns those up?
Yeah.
And then she gonna buy you some more?
No.
Who goes by to
I
do
buy
it?
my own clothes.
Well, you
Now,
know, I
she
bought
bought
mine
me a
before.
few things, you know, Yana.
That's just utterly ridiculous. You too old for that madness.
That's why
And
I want
after
out. That's why
after
I'm
four
through.
marriages, that's just crazy.
That's why I don't want
Now
to.
you're
I don't
not
want
20
him there.
years old. You're not 15 years old. When 20-year-olds walk in here talking about, I thought he was gonna change. You know, there's a little validity to that, but your eyes are wide open. You're raising children. You're a
wrong.
parent. You can't. Your judgment is not any better than that.
Yeah, it is.
So what do you want from the court? You want him to leave?
I want him out of my house. I can't take care of him. I'm not his mother. He needs his mother to do the stuff that he want me to do. I'm not his mother.
That's what you be
I
trying
can't
to act
raise
like.
him. Oh, I don't want to raise you. I'm too
So
old
now
to
you
be trying to
decided
raise a
you don't
big
want to be his
kid.
mother anymore.
No, I don't want to be his mother anymore. I can't raise him. I barely raised the 4 I have.
Well, you
I
said
definitely don't want to raise him.
You said a lot there. So why won't you get yourself out of that house?
Because, Yana, every time I leave, I go pay rent to other people to
But
stay
you
in
won't
their
pay
house.
rent where I'm at.
I do,
Okay,
too.
so now tell me this, you go pay rent and do what?
So when she calls me back, or when I call her and we get back together, I'm out of money that I have to pay people just because she want to put me out for a few nights.
You all are playing games.
Nah, it's not me, Yana.
Okay, so you have a mind too, don't you?
Yes.
So when she puts you out and says the marriage is over and you go and pay rent somewhere else, just because she calls and says come back, you can't think and you can't make up your own mind and say, no, I'm not going back?
Yeah. I says it all the time, but I end up being back.
Now, you all just seem to me that you just love your own misery and you just playing games and wasting my time.
Nah,
because
it's
you
not
can
me,
walk out
Yana.
and stay.
Not once I ever filed for divorce. That's her. I'm willing to stand and fight.
The divorce court continues.
You almost killed the man. And now you're talking about you want him back.
No, I don't want him back. I want him out of my house for good. I don't want anything to do with him. I asked him to never come back and stop calling me, but he keeps calling.
Oh, come on.
Divorce court continues in the case of Janice Johnson, who poured glue and feathers on her husband James to punish him because he came home late.
So if you're willing to stand and fight and keep it, why the devil you got to go out all night long and stay out all
don't be
night?
out all
Why
night
can't you
long.
change your ways if you're willing to stand
I
and
have
fight and
changed
keep
my
it?
ways.
So now you're staying at home?
Yeah.
And now you go.
I go out a little bit, but I don't be gone very long.
So what do you think he's supposed to stay at home all the time?
No, I don't even want him around all the time because we argue from the time the sun come up to the
Okay,
time the
so
sun
when he's
go down.
gone, why do you keep calling him to come back?
Because I get sick and I can't. Before I used to call him to come back when my son was there, but my son's in the hospital now because I would get sick where I'd have to stay in the bed and I couldn't do anything for myself and he would come and do it.
You know, either you want to be married to him or you don't. But that game of you're in, you're out, you're in, you're out, you're too old for that and you're showing your children bad examples. This is utterly ridiculous. You're 49 years old. When are you going to learn what marriage is? Why are you crying?
Because I'm through. I'm fed up with him. I just want him out of my house, out of my life, and I'm
But the
through playing
man
the game.
leaves and you call him to come back, so
Well,
you don't want him
I'm
out.
not calling him anymore because I'm through playing the game myself. I realize I'm too old for this and I'm too sick to keep dealing with him. I don't want him
But
to
you
kill me.
almost killed the man. And now you're talking about you want him back.
No, I don't want him back. I want him out of my house for good. I don't want anything to do with him. I asked him to never come back and stop calling me, but he keeps calling.
Oh, come on. You know what? I could sit here, order him out of your house. You divorced the first time after 28 days, and you went right back. He never left, and then you remarried and said the second time around. By then, you really knew what it was all about. And said, I want to remarry you, and told those same lies, taking the same vows again, and knew it was a bunch of bull. And now you're wasting our time talking about, I want him out. I'm through with it. I want it over. I can make 10 orders for him to get out. Listening to the two of you, he will be right back tomorrow. And you will say, come on, honey.
No, I won't.
Oh, please. You don't need any court to separate you. Now, you don't need a court to say, get out. Now, if a woman doesn't want you, she has 3 kids at home still.
No, I don't have any children. Well, I have one at home. They're grown now. They have
So
the
now
kids
you
at home.
don't need
They've
his help
moved up.
anymore.
I don't need him anymore. I don't want him and I don't
That's
need
what
him.
it is.
Now, you're a grandmother. Mother, grandmother, and still going through this foolishness.
That's why I
Mr.
want him out.
Peterson,
I
you're
don't wanna go
29.
through it
How old are you
anymore.
now? 29 or 30?
I'm 29 still.
Okay, now the woman doesn't want you, right? She says she's finished with you.
Well,
What's your problem? You don't like yourself? You don't think you can find anybody else?
Oh,
You don't want to end
I
it?
ain't got no problem with myself.
Well, then why you
It-
keep going back to the madness?
Because I really don't have nowhere to go.
That's what I said. That's what I said. And why you don't have anywhere to go?
Because they get tired of me coming and going back, coming and going back.
So why can't you go somewhere, pay the rent, and stay?
I don't know, Yana.
You guys are full of it. I don't care what you do. I'm not ordering anything. You figure it out. It's your life. You know what to do. The court's adjourned.
All
You don't-
rise.
please.
Parties may leave the
You don't want to
courtroom.
be with each other? Get away. I'm not ordering. I'm not wasting my time ordering anything. Because no matter what I say, he's not going to leave and she's not going to make him leave. They'll figure it out in a minute.
He's only one piece of chicken away from coming back.
He just what'd you say?
One piece of chicken away.
There
That's
you
it.
go. So I'm wasting my time. Please.
Yeah,
They know what they want to do.
That's silly.
Either he wants to be with her, or he doesn't, or she wants him, or she doesn't. Please.
Quit playing the game, make up their decision, and that's it.
I had weight loss surgery, lost 150 pounds, and I feel sexy and beautiful and confident again. And Donald, I don't need you anymore.
I love Paula. I didn't care if she wanted 300 pounds, 200 pounds, 500 pounds. I'd love her the way she is. That's the way I'd love her.
I couldn't walk. I could not even get down the 2 steps from my house.
So it sounds like to me that the only thing that you could figure out to do with your life was eat.
Well, that was the only thing that he had for me going
No,
too.
he's blamed for all of this.
Everything.
Everything is your fault. Talk to me.
Ever since she lost weight, she started dating people on the
So
internet.
she's going out on you.
I told you for years to go and find a girlfriend and find a life and find friends
You don't
to do
tell
things
people to
with.
just walk out and go find a girlfriend when you're married. That is absolutely ridiculous for you to even suggest that to him.
Paula Clinton says she looks beautiful and sexy again since she lost 150 pounds. So she's dumping Donald and wants him to pay spousal support in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Judge Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Paula Clinton versus Donald Clinton. I understand after 13 years of marriage that you're divorcing and you want him to pay you spousal support.
Yes, Your
And tell me, why is this marriage ending, Mrs. Clinton?
Your Honor, when Donald and I first got married, I weighed 240 pounds. And over the course of my marriage, I ballooned up to 417 pounds.
Doing what?
Let me tell you, the reason behind this was after the first few years of marriage, it was like I was in competition with the television set. I ended up being miserable. Donald would watch TV from the minute he got up to the minute he went to bed. I had nothing to do, no one to talk to. Food ended up being my friend. I ate. I was miserable. Donald.
Wait a minute, so this marriage is ending because your husband didn't talk to you?
That's what she feels.
And he caused you to eat a lot because he wasn't talking.
I gained weight. I was miserable. I ended
Hold
up
on
being.
a second. You're telling me that your husband didn't talk to you. You couldn't have anybody to talk to. So all you could do, because your mouth had to be moving some kind of way, was put food in it?
Actually, that was my only friend.
You didn't have any
I
other
could
friends?
not. I had one of my friends that I used to go out with. He did not want me going out with because she was too flirty and it would attract men.
And you only had one friend?
No, I had other friends, but it got to the point
Okay,
where
so
I
why
was
couldn't you
so
go out with
heavy,
them?
I could not get out of the house.
No,
I was
before you got
housebound.
heavy, when he wasn't talking to you, why you couldn't go out with them? You didn't have a life? You didn't
No,
have
I
anything
had
you could
life.
do? Okay, so why couldn't you go out and do some things on your own?
I'm supposed to be able to talk to my husband, and have a
granted, and
relationship
he's
with
not
him.
talking to you?
I cannot
Hold on a
live in the
second.
same house.
Hold on. Husband's lifestyle, all he wants to do is watch TV when he's awake, okay? You want to do other things when you're awake. You want to talk, he doesn't talk to you. Go out and talk to somebody.
I ended up
What
doing
was your
that.
lifestyle? Couldn't you go out and do something that you wanted to do? There was nothing that you enjoyed doing, or you was just building
No,
your
I went out
whole
and did other
life
things
around
with my
him?
friends. Oh no, my life was not built around him. But if being married,
So then
you
he
want to
didn't
have a
make you
life
eat
with
all the
him
time.
also.
So he didn't cause you to eat all the time.
Oh, I ate on my own.
When you
That's
went out
right.
with your friends, what'd you do?
We ate, and then he took me out to eat also.
So it sounds like to me that the only thing that you could figure out to do with your life was eat.
Well, that was the only thing that he had for me going
No,
too.
no.
Every time he
no.
wanted to suggest
No.
any
Stop,
going
Mrs. Clinton.
anywhere. Oh yes, Donald.
No.
Ms. Clinton,
no,
stop.
Everywhere.
No,
I am not
no,
going to
no,
allow you.
No.
Stop. Hold on, Mr. Clinton. I am not going to allow you to push the blame on him for your
I'm
eating.
not blaming him.
You just said that. He
I
made you eat and gain weight. What
Okay,
do you call
the
that if you don't
lack
call
of
that blame?
any communication, I was lonely.
You
I was
decided
lonely.
in your head
But that's not
Obviously-
why I am divorcing him.
Obviously, your mind was a little limited in that you couldn't think of other creative things to do. All you could think to do when you were lonely was eat. There are a lot of things you can do when you're
Well,
lonely.
it got to the point
Why
where
do you
I
go somewhere and be
couldn't
around
move.
people? You could go to the museum.
I couldn't.
You
I
could
was
go to the parks.
housebound for 2 years.
Before you got
housebound.
that big, before you let yourself eat yourself into an unhealthy state
That's
of
right, but
being.
that I can't do anything about that now. All I'm doing is I took it upon myself to have surgery.
You missed me. You missed the point, but I'll let you go on because
I had weight loss surgery and lost weight.
Okay.
And if you'd like to see my before picture the morning of surgery,
Let me see.
I think he even sabotaged my surgery. He made
I didn't-
sure.
no, I did
you
not.
made sure there was
No,
no
I did
gas
not.
in the car. There wasn't
You need
enough
to- you
gas
need
in the
to-
car.
don't
You
tell
didn't
me
have
she got
money
me
to get gas.
about this. I
He
did not
didn't even-
sabotage the car.
he
There
didn't-
was no gas in the car.
Stop. If you say, okay, I'm gonna get Mr. Clinton, tell me your side, because now she's saying you sabotaged. You had the surgery, right?
Yes, and he had to drive me, but there was not enough gas in the car.
And you
he
couldn't
knew
make
we
sure
had-
that there was enough gas in the car?
I couldn't walk. I could not even get down the 2 steps from my house. I was totally in my house for almost 2 years. He had to do all the grocery shopping and everything. I could not get. That's why I had to have the surgery
So
I
you're
could get
you're
out
divorcing
and
a
live.
man that for 2 years did everything for you because you allowed yourself to get into a gluttony state and gain too much weight and made it unhealthy. Made yourself unhealthy
I
and a
could
health
not
risk.
get up to even exercise at that point.
I'm saying now, but he took care of you, right? For 2 years.
For 2 years out of 13,
So,
where
were you
I worked
talking to
2
him
jobs,
then?
the rest of it.
Were you talking to him then?
No, he would not talk to me.
But you're blaming
Yeah,
him.
but
Let me
I
hear from
was
Mr.
sick.
Clinton. Let me hear from Mr. Clinton. I heard enough of you. Let me hear from him. Because he's blamed for all of this.
Everything.
Everything is your fault. Talk to me.
It seems like to me, everything I do is the wrong thing.
Well, what she's saying is all your fault. That all she did was set up in the house and ate for 2 years
That's-
and got to the point where she weighed 417 pounds. That's
what
your fault. Why is that your fault? What is she talking about?
I don't believe what she's
And
saying.
all you
What
would
were you
do
doing?
would bring.
Mrs. Clinton, I
Bacon
didn't
and-
ask you to talk. You can talk.
She
What
tells
was
me
going on?
I work nights. Sometimes I like to relax and watch TV. It's
Sometimes.
nothing wrong with that, Your
Every
Honor.
day.
I work nights or something. I like to watch TV during the day. What's
But
the
you
problem
wouldn't
with
do
that?
anything around
What
the
is-
house that needed to be done either. I mean, like fix things that needed to be done. All the stuff in the garage that needed to be done.
Maybe
things
you
that I
talk
couldn't-
too much, and the reason he didn't want to talk to you. And if he tried to have a conversation with you, he'd never get a word in.
Exactly.
You're
Your
now
Honor.
standing before the court. I'd ask you to be quiet and allow him to talk. You keep cutting him off. I would imagine that if you didn't have somebody like me in your house, I know he didn't get a chance to say anything.
That's what I go through, Your Honor.
Not anymore.
Yeah,
See what I
right.
mean? Can't keep your mouth closed.
It's just like her mouth is
Either
just
it's
like a
open
freeway.
talking or open eating. But you want to blame everybody else. You have control over your mouth. Stop blaming other people. Just like you can control whether you talk too much.
When divorce court continues.
Ever since she lost weight, she started dating people on the
So
internet.
she's going out on you.
Yes.
Is your marriage ending because your spouse's family kept interfering? Call us at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at www.divorcecourt.com. Divorce court continues in the case of Paula Clinton, who says she cheated on Donald after she lost 150 pounds because she feels sexy again and is not attracted to him anymore.
Let me hear from him, because there's always two sides to every story.
I really loved her, Your Honor. And it seemed like to me, it started falling apart from the beginning.
What happened?
It seemed like that mostly it's my fault because I don't talk to her. And when I feel like talk to her, I shut down and I don't want to say nothing.
Why you don't want to talk to her?
It seemed like if I try to talk to her, it seemed like I'm like a nobody.
What, she calls you names? She says things about you?
Sometimes,
I do not.
Yeah, you
I
do
just
too.
got
You do too.
no,
Don't even
no,
go there.
Mr. Clinton, ignore her. Come on. What?
I feel that because if I say something, I just feel like I'm a little kid. Okay. I feel like I'm 2 years old to a person that's 40 years old.
What would she say? What kinds of things would she say to you to make you feel so small?
Because I'm not as smart as she is.
What do you mean by that?
I don't have the intelligence that she goes through and do what she can do.
So you think that she's intellectually superior to you?
Exactly.
And she makes you feel that way?
Exactly.
What's your level of education?
I'm a high school graduate in 2 years of college.
And what's your level of education?
2 years of college with high
So
school
you're the same?
education.
She does in medical transcription, and what do you do for a living?
I cook for the Army, and plus I do floors for a living.
So you have a skilled trade, 2 skilled trades, cooking and floors.
Yeah.
What do you do, lay tile, clean the,
I
strip the floors and wax them?
That's what I do, Your Honor.
Oh, that's a good profession. I pay my guy a lot of money to do it. So you think that you're intellectually inferior to her?
Exactly.
Or she
Your
makes you feel that way, or you feel that you are?
She makes me feel that way, Your Honor.
Why, you don't talk fast?
I don't talk up to her level.
No, you just don't talk. You wouldn't answer any questions when I try to do things.
What did you do around the house?
I do the yard work, when I need to be done.
That's
So
why
how
the
did the two of you-
landlord sent us notes
How did
saying
the two
to
of
do
you
it.
ever get together if you don't talk?
Feel like right now, I feel like it's over some steak.
No, but how did you hook up if you weren't talking?
We met at a bar.
Oh, and the alcohol was doing the talking.
No, he looked good in his jeans.
You met at a bar, he looked good in his jeans, and you did all the talking.
No.
Okay,
No.
Mr. Clinton. How'd you meet her? How'd you get married to the woman that you now don't talk to?
Because that time I felt confident to talk to her, but after I'm talking. And after I got married to her, it seemed like my confidence just went downhill.
And that's not
Would she
my
call you
fault.
names or say anything? What would she say to make you feel that way?
I never called you names or anything.
Hush your mouth. What would she say to make you feel less than, feel like a 2-year-old? Give me some examples.
It's like if I go and I end up doing, it's like I can't read as much as I can, like she can. Mm-hmm. She put me down for that.
You don't read as well.
I tried to get you to take classes and you'd never follow through. I wanted you to be able to
Didn't you
be
know he
better.
couldn't read as well when you married him?
No.
So why didn't you take the time to find out if intellectual superiority or intellect was one of the things that you were looking for?
It didn't
Why didn't you
matter
figure
at
it
the
out?
time because
so
we
why
could
does it matter
talk.
now?
I wanted him to be better for himself.
Suppose
I wanted
he
him
was
to be
satisfied
able to.
like that.
Pardon?
Suppose he was satisfied. Suppose he liked who he was and what he was and the kind of person that he was and how intelligent he is and how well he read didn't really matter to him. Suppose he was just okay loving you and having his job and watching his television
Because I wanted to
and
be
being
able
a
to
nice
at least
person.
get a house or something. I wanted to have something. I
You
wanted
can
to
get
have
a house
future.
off being a floor technician and a chef.
Well, I wanted him to be
But if
able
you
to
wanted more, you should have married a man that had a degree, if that's what you were
What?
looking for.
The divorce court continues.
And he's convinced he's not as intelligent as
Right.
her.
He believes that. He needs to know that he is. I need to give him a hug. Can I give him a hug? Get him back here.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at www.divorcecourt.com. Divorce court continues in the case of Donald Clinton, who says Paula cheated on him and put him down after she lost 150 pounds.
Okay, so after your surgery, what happened?
After my surgery and I started losing weight, I started getting my independence back, and he would want to keep doing things for me, and I'm like, no, I can do it. I know that it hurt his feelings that I could do things.
Isn't that what a
because I
husband
know
supposed
it made him feel important to be able to do things for me when I was unable to do things. And I would try and do things on my own. I mean, our sex life had totally... I wasn't attracted to him anymore.
But can you
I
imagine-
didn't like
you're
myself.
not-
No, I didn't like myself. So
You're
how could I
unfair.
be attractive?
He wasn't attractive.
I don't
He
know.
didn't have sex with you for 2 years.
I know. And
But he
that was
stayed
fine
with
with
you?
me. Pardon?
But he stayed with you?
We were in a roommate situation. We had a king-size bed. I had a body pillow down the middle between his side and my side. It was a roommate situation. We paid our bills. I broached the subject of separating a lot of times, Donald. You know I did.
But you couldn't do
And
it until after your surgery.
I didn't have the confidence to
That's
do
what
it
I
for
said, but you couldn't
myself.
do it until after your surgery. So then you walked out there and found some other man that decided he wanted you.
No, I haven't found. I'm dating, but I'm not. I'm dating people.
Yeah, right.
So what is wrong with that?
Why don't you just go and tell the
you tell me,
judge
Mr.
what's going
Clinton.
on?
You
Donald,
tell me.
I told
I'm
you
go-
before.
You be quiet. Let him tell me what's going on.
Ever since she lost weight, she started getting on the internet, started dating people on the internet.
I was on
Be
the
quiet.
internet from
And
before
then
that.
she goes up and date other people while we still together, Your Honor.
So she's going out on you.
Yeah, she
And
goes
she's
up
meeting
and
guys on the internet and going out with them.
Tell him about the beach.
No, you tell me.
Beach.
She goes up and goes to the motel, telling me that at the beach, at Astoria Beach, and she told me there's nothing going on.
She met a
didn't
guy at
say
the beach
that.
and
Yeah, you did too. Don't even go there. You did
Donald,
say that.
in July, I told you I wanted to start dating other people. We needed to separate.
But you're still
At
married to me.
Christmas- At Christmas the year before, I
So
told
are you
we
dating
needed
other people and went to a motel and he found out about it with somebody else?
No, he's known I was dating people since July because I told him we needed to separate. I asked
but
him.
you
He
still-
wanted me to leave.
But did you
I had 4
separate?
cats. No, he moved out
But you
with
kept telling him
sister.
you needed to separate,
I
but you
said
had
we
not
need to
separated.
separate, but I could not leave because I had 4 cats and trying to find a place with 4 cats, and he wouldn't take care of the 4 cats.
I don't blame him. I
So
wouldn't take care of the 4 cats either. I think he had done enough for you already, and now you're going to tell him now that you back
No
on your
one
feet.
asked him
and
to
you
do
feel-
all that for me. I did things for him for
That's what
7
husbands
years
are.
before
Husband's supposed
that.
to stick by a wife.
Excuse me?
When you take vows, you're supposed to go death through the part.
And it's
Am I
a
correct?
50-50
That's what I
thing.
thought.
I
That's
did
what-
that
that's
for you
what- that's
for
what-
7 years. I worked 2 jobs.
That's what I went.
Hold it. Be quiet.
I went by my vows.
So you
Stick by
thought you
death-
were doing what you were supposed to do.
Exactly.
Stand by your wife.
by
Be
death
there
through the part.
for her.
Everything till thick and thin, Your Honor.
To
That's
death
right. It
do
was
you
his
part.
turn
Yeah,
after all the
exactly.
years I did.
Okay, so he did it. But then
So?
once you got up, you were like, I'm out of here.
I wanted to fix this marriage years before. I suggested counseling. He didn't want to go to counseling.
You're a selfish, inconsiderate, rude little woman. That's all I can say.
Little.
And be nice about it. That's it.
The divorce court continues.
You did the right thing, okay? Love yourself. Love yourself. Don't let anybody make you feel that they're better than you. Yeah.
Divorce court continues in the case of Paula Clinton, who lost 150 pounds and says she is leaving Donald because she loves the attention she's getting from other men.
I'm dating and I'm enjoying meeting new
You
people.
still want to be with your wife, right?
Then you're gonna go. You're gonna have sex with other people while you, right?
What?
Right? You're gonna go out. You having sex with people now before we.
Well, that's none of your business if I did or
This is my business.
not.
I'm legally still married to
We
you,
are
right?
separated.
Yeah, I'm still under married
still
to
her
you.
husband.
That's exactly.
She doesn't respect
I
that.
told
She
you
don't
for
respect me.
years
She
to
don't
go
respect
and
me,
find
when
a
she goes and
girlfriend
live
and
with
find
other-
a life
sleep
and
with other
find
people.
friends
You
to
don't
do
tell
things
people to
with.
just walk out and go find a girlfriend when you're married. That is absolutely ridiculous for you to even suggest that to him.
We had already decided we were just
Okay,
roommates
so
and
now you
paying
want
the
him to go
bills.
find a girlfriend. You're just roommates. You're through with him. You want out. You don't need his money. You don't need any spousal support. Go your separate ways. Enjoy your life. Have fun. Denied.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom. Parties may leave the courtroom.
Denied. Not giving her a dime. She is just being rude and inconsiderate of this man. She's gonna blame him for her weight gain.
Yeah. And he's convinced he's not as intelligent as
Right.
her.
He believes that.
Yeah.
He needs to know that he is. I need to give him a hug. Can I give him a hug? Get him back here. He's a good man.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him. See, and it is so unfortunate that when women find a nice man that loves them, that really cares about them, doesn't care what they have or don't have, doesn't care what they look like or don't look like, and how they talk or don't talk, and you just love them, and they do things for you, and they take care of you, they cook, they wash, they iron. Sometimes we can just be so stupid and just act a fool.
Yeah.
We want somebody to just talk crazy to us. Hey, Mr. Clinton.
Hey there, Mr. Clinton.
I want you to hold your head up, okay? And know that you did, in fact, do the right thing. There's no reason for you to be ashamed. There's no reason for you to feel intellectually inferior to any human being, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
You are as bright as anyone else.
Yes,
You are
ma'am.
a good person, okay? Hold your head up. You did the right thing. You did the right thing, okay? Love yourself. Love yourself. Don't let anybody make you feel that they're better than you. They may know more, they may talk better, and all of that, but they're not any better than you, all right?
Yes.
And always know that,
Yes.
and continue to do what you believe is the right thing. Give me that.
Thank you.
Okay?
Thank you.
All right.
Thank you for spending time with me.
You're welcome. Take care. Wish you well.
Thanks. Take care.
I made my wife sign a contract before we got married, stating that she would not dress so sexy. 1 month later, she's down at the block party, dressing like a straight-up floozy.
I dress sexy because this is who I am. This is the way Charles met me, and he chased me around the club, and he still wanted to marry me. So obviously, it wasn't a problem.
So what's the problem? Because she wears short skirts and tank tops?
Yes, to the grocery store, Your Honor. I mean, I don't know if she's going to the grocery store to get goods or show her goods off.
Show my goods off. I gotta show them off to somebody. You ain't looking.
Well, didn't you have some kind of agreement that you wasn't supposed to wear certain kind of clothes?
Yes, Your Honor, and the agreement is right here.
I, Takesha Stevens, promised not to dress sexy after marrying Charles Johnson. And you're jealous of her because you think when she puts on clothes, she's going to
clothes
see
like
the...
these.
Let me see. What about this one in the leopard stuff?
Takesha Stevens says her husband Charles Johnson cut up and threw away her sexy clothes because he didn't want other men looking at her. Now she wants him to pay for the clothes he destroyed in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Judge Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Takesha Stevens versus Charles Johnson. After 10 months of marriage, you want a divorce. And you want him to pay you $300 for clothes that he cut up. Is that
Yes.
right? Okay, how did this happen? What's going on? 10 months.
Well, one day I was going out with one of my friends, and he decided that he didn't want me to go out in what I had on. And my mind was set that I was going out because I'm at home 24/7 with my son, and I needed some time to myself. And so he wanted to argue with me about the clothes and everything. And I left, I come back, and he threw all my clothes in the bushes.
Well, didn't you have some kind of agreement that you wasn't supposed to wear certain kind of clothes, Mr.
Exactly.
Mr. Johnson?
Yes, Your Honor, and the agreement is right here. I believe you have a copy of it
You
as
had
well,
an agreement. Let me see that. No, I don't have a copy. Let me see.
which she signed the day before we got married, Your Honor.
I, Takesha Stevens, promised not to dress sexy after marrying Charles Johnson. I understand that when I wear clothes that reveal certain parts of my body strictly for members of the opposite sex to look at, I cause a problem for Charles Johnson. This type of behavior is not acceptable for a married woman. I understand that Charles Johnson will adhere to these same guidelines and will not wear revealing clothing that reveal his body to the opposite sex. Both of you signed it, April 13th. You
Yeah.
signed that?
Yeah.
So what's
I
the
shouldn't
sexy
have.
clothing that she's not supposed to wear?
Well, she has a coat on right now, Your Honor, but if she take that coat off, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
All right, take the coat
She
off. Let me see.
wears.
Your Honor, this is a tank top under
Take the
here.
coat off. Let me see.
I don't want to be revealing my body
I
like
didn't
that.
ask you that. Take the coat off. Let me see.
You don't want to see what's up under
Yes,
this
I
coat.
do. Come over here. Let me see what's up under there. If you got it on.
Well, I know with the jacket, but this is,
Oh, okay. Unbutton the jacket.
it's just a tank top up under here that I had no intentions of wearing outside.
Oh, it's just a tank top and a skirt.
So what's the problem? Because she wears short skirts and tank tops?
Yes, to the grocery store, Your Honor. I mean, I don't know if she's going to the grocery store to get goods or show her goods off.
Show my goods off. Show them off.
She comes
Show them
back.
off. I got to show them off to somebody. You ain't looking.
She comes back, tell me, you know, the guy, the meat guy behind the counter told her.
Who has a
that she
job
looked
unlike
good or
you.
something. Oh, no, see.
Well, explain this to me, Mr. Johnson. You've only been married for 10 months. Yeah. And in every marriage, there is something that attracts you to the person that you marry. Oh, now, what attracted you to Miss Stevens?
I mean, she's a very attractive woman.
And what did I have on when you met me? What did I have on?
Anyway, like I was saying,
what did I have
on? No, not like you were saying. You're going to answer my question. What attracted you to Miss Stevens?
Her attitude.
What was her attitude?
She has confidence, you know, saying about herself. You know, when I met her. Mm-hmm. When I met her, though, she was 17. You know.
And where did you meet her?
16.
Hold it. Where did you meet her?
Club in Cincinnati, Ohio.
At a club.
Yeah.
At 16.
Right.
And how old were you?
I was 19.
And tell me how she was dressed.
She was dressed in very provocative clothing.
What do you mean? Describe it to me so I can see it.
And he followed me around like a puppy dog.
Hold on a second, Miss Stevens. Draw me the picture.
Skin tight, black, you know, like capri pants.
Mm-hmm.
The skirt, the top, tank top. There's just little straps going across the top, you know.
Showing all the cleavage?
Yeah.
All the back out?
Right.
And the skirt, the pants were tight?
Yes.
Right above the knee?
Right.
Show all the curves?
Exactly.
And the lines and the rolls if she had any too?
And he loved it, obviously.
Yes. Showed everything?
Yes, you're right.
And you were attracted to that, right?
Yeah, at that time, you know, I'm 19, second year in college, you know. I mean, you like things like that.
And how old are you now?
I'm 23.
And he still
But now, if you're 19, second year in college, like things like that, and that's the way she's dressed, what did that tell you about her?
That's the way she liked to dress at that time.
Ooh, that she liked things like that too.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So then, how do you decide that now that you're gonna marry me, I'm gonna sign a contract that says I won't dress like that anymore?
She signed it, Your Honor.
Yeah,
that's the point. Now answer me that. Why did you sign the contract?
Because it was the day before we got married, and he said that we wasn't getting married unless I signed a contract. And he signed a contract when we got married when he said I do, that he wouldn't commit adultery, and he did.
Uh-oh, so you both break contracts and vows.
That's a lie.
So let's
That's
talk
a lie,
about
Your
that.
Honor.
Why don't you just go find a woman to dress in the way you wanted her to dress?
Well, you know, we had a relationship, you know, time was spent together. We have a son together now, you know. He's a year and a half now, you know.
So you've had that son a while.
Right.
So why all of a sudden, did he change? Did he leave here? Circumstances haven't changed.
He's still here.
So what's the point?
The point is, I'll be graduating here in about 6 months. And I'm going to be
6 years.
professional. And I can't have my wife just going to grocery stores, you know, showing all her goods off to
What
everybody.
kind of profession you going
around.
into?
I'm a psychologist. I will be a psychologist.
So you're going to graduate with a psychology degree.
Yes.
And you're going to be a professional, don't want your wife looking like this. Now, what did you learn in psychology about learned behavior, about environmental responses, about conditioning of the mind, about being products of our environment? And then that psychology course also tell you that most people have made up their minds about what they're going to be and how they're going to be, and their behavior and their conduct and attitudes is learned and intact by what, 5? Age of 5?
At early age.
That's the psychology class I took.
But learned behavior, you know, behavior can be learned as well.
And it can be changed and modified, right?
Exactly.
Now, what did it tell
So
you
I
about
figured that
modified behavior in terms of certain things?
positive rewards will lead to, you know, change
And that's for
of
who?
behavior
For who?
for my wife.
No, I didn't. It told you change behavior for children.
Anybody, Your Honor.
Okay, so
They're there for you.
so what was your positive reward for her? To change and modify her behavior?
By strictly, you know, tending to my business, you know, going to school, taking care of business,
And that's all you did
working
was
at
go
the
to
same
school
time, taking
and
care of
then
my
work,
son,
and then
you know.
take care of your
I'm
son,
at
then
home.
take care of
Hold on a
me.
second,
She's at
Mrs.
work, you
Stevens.
know, she's going
Hold on.
around, you know.
Ain't
So
you
you-
been doing
She'll
that
come
at
back
school?
home.
I said wait.
When divorce court continues.
I lost his attention when he went out and started sleeping around with someone else.
What?
So I
That's
felt
not true,
like
Your Honor.
I had to dress sexy to keep him interested in me.
Is your marriage ending because your spouse brags about cheating? Call us at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at www.divorcecourt.com. Divorce court continues in the case of Charles Johnson, who made his wife Takesha Stevens sign a contract not to dress sexy before he married her.
Well, didn't you ever hear, and didn't your mother or father or any older person ever tell you that, you know, what you start with is what you're going to end up with usually? And if you want a certain kind of woman, you got to select that from the beginning. Right? You didn't ever hear that?
I heard that.
But you liked her body and liked the way she looked
Yes.
when you were 19.
Yes.
And you married her,
Yes.
thinking that she was going to change her style.
Right.
Oh, you must
And
be
she
crazy.
gave me every reason to believe that she was,
How
Your
long
Honor.
did we date and how long did I dress the way I was dressing before
At
we
least
got
2
married?
years. At least 2 years, Your Honor.
And I
Did
dressed
you
the same
ever
way.
change your style of dress?
After we got married, yes, I did.
For how long?
For a while, because I just had my
changed.
son and I wasn't
And
dressing
why did
that
you
way.
change your style of dress?
Because he didn't like it.
And why are you going back to what you like now?
Because, I lost his attention when he went out and started sleeping around with someone else.
What?
So
That's
I felt
not true,
like,
Your Honor.
so I felt like I had to dress sexy to keep him interested in me, and I still don't have him
And
interested
any other
in me.
man?
No, not no other man.
So you're saying that
I've
you
been
changed
faithful.
your dressing style to clothing that were less revealing,
Yes.
less skin tight, and then what happened for your reward was your husband started messing around with another woman and ignored you.
Yeah, and
not
All
then
right,
he
now,
didn't.
Mr. Johnson, talk to me about that.
She'll tell you about that because
No, no.
I don't
She
know
said-
anything about that, Your
I
Honor.
know
I did
anything
not
about
see
it.
any
I'll
other
tell you
women.
about it.
Okay,
I didn't
now
see any
refresh
other
his
women.
memory.
He had started buying all these condoms and everything else, then telling me he didn't want to sleep with me, and I was just a job to sleep with. Then
A job?
A job
Not true.
that was free.
Not true. Your
I didn't
Honor.
get paid for it. But anyway, so I go home.
Where did you find the condoms?
In his wallet.
Why were you in his wallet?
Because I didn't trust him anymore, because he was acting weird.
What was he doing?
Not just lying, constantly lost his wedding ring. He begged me for a wedding ring and then lost it,
Mm-hmm.
you know. And
That's all?
no,
What made you not
he was
trust
just
him?
constantly lying all the time about his whereabouts.
And you're jealous of her because you think when she puts on clothes, she's
Yeah,
going to
clothes
see
like
the...
these, Your Honor.
Let me see.
But I put him on and I ain't sleeping with nobody, unlike yourself.
I don't know what she's
He
doing.
put on his glasses and
I
his
don't
briefcase
go around
and
wearing,
act like he
tight
innocent.
stuff and wearing.
You ain't got to.
Is this a before picture?
That one might be before. Your
Yeah.
Honor.
This is
it
the one in the
might be.
black. Is this before?
Yes,
That's what
before.
caught your attention.
That's before, Your Honor.
Uh-huh. And then what about this one in the leopard stuff? The tiger stuff. Is that before or after?
That is before.
So why you gonna give me before picture? She said that she stopped. That's not
Because
fair.
That's the same clothes that she's still wearing, Your Honor.
But Mr.
Do it
Johnson,
look like I wear that?
Yeah.
you want me to answer that?
Yeah, tell the truth. Does it look like I'm wearing that? I mean, come on now. I got a big stomach now. I mean, I'm not gonna walk. I know what looks good on me and what doesn't. I'm not gonna walk out the house in that.
Well, all I can say is I've seen a lot of women whose stomachs are big and
But I
we're
ain't one of
showing
them.
all of their belly and don't have.
Not me.
Okay.
I'm not that
I
way.
just have to accept that you're
I look in the mirror
You
every
care
day.
enough about yourself and you know when you look good and what doesn't look good.
Right.
That you wouldn't put on something that revealed all your stomach.
Yeah, then, because I look good then.
All
but,
right.
I mean, you know.
But the point is, she's an adult. When you marry someone, you can't dictate to them how they dress. No more than she can dictate to you how she dresses. But she said that she stopped.
Right.
And she had changed her style until you started going out with other women, and she felt that she had to go back to it, to what got you in the first place. Let me put it back on.
Right.
What excited him about me in the first place, let me put it back on. Maybe the interest is waning because I'm now too covered up.
The divorce court continues.
I think you're about to get your degree now, and you want to have someone else who's also getting a degree and who you think is on the same level as you, and now you're not being fair to her because you want the little college girl.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at www.divorcecourt.com. Divorce court continues in the case of Takesha Stevens, who says her husband Charles Johnson cut up and threw away her sexy clothes.
I think you're about to get your degree now.
Right.
And you want to have someone else who's also getting a degree and who you think is on the same level as you because you're getting educated. Your wife isn't educated because she came straight from high school and you went into this marriage. And now you're not being fair to her because you want the little college girl.
That's not true. That's not true, Your Honor. You know,
That's
I
what it
still want
sounds
my
like
wife.
to me. You're messing
I
around.
still love my wife. You know? She wants the divorce more so than I do, actually.
You don't want it.
Not really. You know, I love my son and I love my wife, and
Well, he don't act like it.
We were happy, for
No,
a
we
couple,
wasn't. Never.
for the first 3-4 months.
Never.
And
So
then
why
she
can't the
wanted
two
to
of you go?
start-
It's only been 10 months. Now, divorce
months,
is
we
not
were married,
always
we knew
the
each other.
answer for.
Because I told him, in order for us to be together, that I have to be first, and I'm not first. School, this all I hear from him, school, school, school. So I'm like, let me see a report card. I would support you while you in school. I even work, pay all the bills, He goes to school, get D's and F's, and meet Shannon's. This is,
So you think that he's just planning using school as his catch-up place, his catch action.
He'd rather go to school than get a job, so that's why he's going to school.
So you think that he's not serious about his education, that he's just going to school to meet women and to keep from working,
Yes,
and he's going to be a permanent student?
yes. He's one of them career
He
students.
said you're about to graduate.
He's a
I'm about to
career
graduate,
student.
Your Honor.
When are you scheduled to graduate?
He's almost
6 months.
24, and
Your
he's about
Honor.
to graduate, he think. I mean,
I walk
he
in
bring-
June. I had to finish up 9 credit hours over the summer.
with a 1.7 GPA.
No, a 2.4.
Well, a lot of people don't finish school in the 4 years.
I know, and that's why I was supporting him. And I'm like,
But wait
I
now,
would support
but you
you,
leaving,
make
but,
things easier for
but
you.
you're leaving before you reap the benefits.
Yes, because I cannot take him always being with his friends. He don't want me to do
Now
anything.
what's going on with you is this: you're unequally yoked. You're not on the same level. You're feeling that he chooses his college friends and all of those people over me, and that I'm not equal to him, and I'm not adequate, and I don't have enough to offer him, and now he's throwing me over to the side because I am not as educated as his college students. And that's what often happens when you marry each other and one goes to school and college and the other one doesn't. But there's a way to get around that. Now it should be her turn to go to college. when you
Exactly,
finish.
and that's why I want him out of school, but he won't get out. He keeps staying. I want him to get out of school so I can go, so I can have a career. But he's going in there playing around, playing games. And I'm like, Charles, if you spending all this money to go to school, do what you have to do. Come on out so I can do what I have to do.
The divorce court continues.
If you meet somebody in sexy clothes and they're dressing and revealing their bodies and showing every nook and cranny, as my mother used to say, then what do you expect?
Divorce court continues in the case of Takesha Stevens, who says her husband Charles Johnson was very jealous and insecure during their marriage.
This sounds like to me, what you all are going through is typical, when one spouse begins to climb the ladder or get more education or whatever, and the other one doesn't. Quite frequently, one begins to think that I'm better than the other, or you start to lean or cling more to your different environment because of that psychological impact that your environment has on your behavior and the people that you deal with, right?
It's not
It's
even
just,
that.
I need help in school sometimes. Like I said, a 2.4, I'm happy.
So why did you didn't marry anybody that you needed help in school for?
Right, because I didn't meet anybody.
And they ain't sleeping
See,
with
that's not fair,
nobody
Mr.
getting help
Johnson.
from.
That is not fair.
Right.
You knew that you were 19 and on your way to college when you met her at 16, and you married her at 18, and you had a baby by her before then. You knew that you were on your way to college, and you knew that you were going to meet women on the college campus that were more in line with what you were all about, what you were doing. But you married Miss Stevens and promised her to be her husband. Now that you've met up with somebody else you think is going to be better,
Nobody else.
and she can help you in
Such a
college.
liar.
Oh, come on. Counseling could help you if you wanted to be helped, but
I
obviously
do
you
want
don't
to
want
be
to be helped.
helped. I want some
Then-
counseling. I told her that we can go to counseling. Your
Okay, so
Honor.
did you tear up her clothes?
I threw them out the window.
Okay.
Because she threw my clothes out the window.
Because
Oh,
you deserved
boy.
it, though.
She tore my
And
stuff
none of your
up.
stuff got lost
I had
with it.
like good clothes
You ain't
that
had
I threw
nothing
out.
but
I don't wanna
$2
hear.
She
Kmart
had
stuff.
like little straps and stuff that I threw out the window.
That
she
cost money.
the
Unlike
signed
your
the
little cheap
contract.
stuff.
Stop. If the straps and stuff were hers,
But she signed the contract, said she wasn't
and
gonna
you
wear it.
signed the contract that said, I'm going to marry you, and I'm going to love, honor, cherish you till death do us part, and you signed a contract that said, for better or worse, whether you're educated or not educated,
Right.
whether you look good or don't look good,
Amen.
whether you like me or whether you look like I want you to look or not, you signed a contract that was much more broader than this little piece of paper that she signed about clothing.
like
And
I
you
said,
took some vows before God and man. So don't talk to me about signing contracts.
She
Because
brought me
neither one
here.
of you. You said you're willing to work on the marriage, but you keep saying, no, because I need somebody to help me in college, which really says that I'm not really interested
That's
in.
not what I'm saying. She's saying that.
No, you
wanna
said
know
that.
the
His
truth.
friends that
My
he
friends.
Stop, both of you. Close your mouth. You said
Bum
that.
too like you.
Don't say another word. But in 10 months, you haven't given the marriage long enough. You haven't put in enough energy, you haven't put in enough effort to try to be married. You got a 1.5-year-old son. Doesn't he deserve more of your time, energy, and attention and more effort to be a family than that? Does he not?
Yes. But I told him if he cheat on me, I can't be with nobody that cheats on me because I would never trust him again.
Okay.
And that was just that.
I never cheated on
I'm
her.
going to order you into counseling. I'm going to order him to return the to reimburse you $300 for the clothing. You can't destroy that because she's not dressing the way you want her to. I strongly suggest that you all reconsider your position and that you seriously go into counseling with a mind toward, and again, psychology, your mind set on, I am going to make this marriage work. Because if you go in with the right attitude, you can come out and have some help in doing so. But if you go in saying, well, I'm just going to go through the motions and pretend, then no, you won't be of any benefit to you. Depends on your attitude and your mindset. Both of you need a little renewing of the minds in this. And I suggest you do that, but it's up to you. Court's adjourned.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
Oh, let me give him back his pictures. If you meet somebody in sexy clothes and they're dressing and revealing their bodies and showing every nook and cranny, as my mother used to say, then what do you expect?
That's right.
You think you're going to turn them into a devout saint?
That piece of paper isn't going to change who she is.
Right. The way you dress and what you do, it's based upon who you are and what you think of yourself.
I married Jeff because I did not want any other woman to have him.
If I wanted to make love to her, it would cost me something.
So you found out that another woman was about to have his baby or had had the baby.
Correct.
And you said, marry me.
Or go with her.
Or go with her.
He wasn't going to have anything to do with this baby. That was the agreement.
So you telling me that he raised your other child? But you have the audacity to tell him not to raise his own child?
I came as a package when he dated me.
Oh, you sound like a zip dang fool.
He doesn't even know if the child's his or not.
Is there any doubt in your mind that it's your baby? No. Oh, this is utterly ridiculous. You have anything else to say, Mr. Nail?
No, ma'am.
Because I'm about to take this hammer and nail it to the wall.
Now Tina Marie Finwall says she can't get over Jeffrey Nail having a baby by another woman, and she wants him to pay spousal support in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Judge Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is a matter of Jeffrey Nail versus Tina Marie Finwall. I'm advised that after 11 years of dating and 3 months of marriage, you people talking about a divorce. Is that right?
Yes.
Correct. Talk to me. What happened in 3 months' time, all of a sudden, that this marriage has to be ended?
He has a child. We split up for 2 weeks. He has a child.
So he had an extramarital affair and has a child during the marriage?
No, not during the marriage, during our relationship.
When was the child born?
4 months ago.
Aren't you still married? The child was born before the marriage?
Correct.
And you just found out 2 weeks ago?
No, I knew about it, but I gave him an ultimatum to where you are either stay home and you are with me and our children, or you go on with your life and you stay with her.
And what happened?
He married me. I asked him to marry me.
So you found out that another woman was about to have his baby or had had the baby?
Correct.
While the two of you were dating?
Correct.
And you said, marry me.
Or go with her.
Or go with her.
Correct.
He married you.
Correct.
Now you're going to tell me you're upset that he has another baby, you want to divorce him?
Correct.
You already knew that. You told him to marry you or go with her.
I thought it was going to get easier. He wasn't going to have anything to do with this baby. That was the agreement. And now he can't live with himself. He doesn't even know if the child's his or not.
So you told him to marry and not have anything to do with the other woman?
Correct.
And the baby?
Correct.
And he goes to see this child?
Without me knowing, because he won't tell me. Yes, I know he has been there.
So you really thought that he wasn't supposed to have any relationship with his child?
If it's his.
Well, were you there?
No.
Did you have sex with the woman?
No, but who knew where she was the night before either?
And who knows where she wasn't?
Exactly.
So how do you decide that that's not his child?
All I'm deciding is that he either was to choose between me or choose between that baby. He
Oh, you
choose
just
me.
being ridiculous.
I guess so, but it's my life, and I'm going to fight for my life.
But you knew that when you married him. It's not like this child came into existence after the marriage,
but there was an
or all of a
agreement
sudden.
there.
You agreed not to see your child and not to be bothered with your child to marry Mrs. Fenwell.
If it's
Honestly, at the time, yes, I made that agreement.
And why would you make such an agreement?
I can't answer that question, Your Honor.
Sure you can.
I can't. Then when I realized after we got home, I'm already a father to 2 children. How can't I, if this baby is mine, not be a father to that baby?
If this baby.
If the baby is
Find
mine.
out if the baby's yours
So why
or
do you
not.
keep going through this if? It's too easy to know whether this is your child is yours or not.
She says it is. I didn't take a test.
Did you have sex with the woman?
Yes, ma'am, I did, and I
Is
believe
there
the girl.
any doubt in your mind that it's your baby?
No.
It's just doubt in your wife's mind.
Oh, there's plenty of doubt in that mind.
Because she doesn't want it to be your baby.
No, she doesn't want it, but
Come off of it. Come off of it.
I'm off of it. I want off it, and I need your help.
You
to
didn't
get
live
off
with
of it.
him. You weren't laying up with him and the woman. You don't know who's the father
but he was
of the
probably
baby.
with me the night before.
And you're right. But you, dummy, went on and married him anyway.
Exactly. That's why I need your help. That's why I'm here
No, you
today.
don't need my help. You need your own help. You know what to do. You know exactly what you should do. That's ridiculous. And you sat up and entered into some kind of stupid agreement like that, not to be bothered with your son and marry her instead. Anytime a woman, a man tells you, don't be bothered with your child, you need to run. Because that person is selfish, inconsiderate, and not only does she not care about your child, she don't give a darn about you because it makes you less than a man.
Well, whatever I told her in that agreement and whatever I did are 2 different things.
Exactly.
So what did you
That's
do?
why we're here.
Seen the baby.
But then that causes problems in your marriage.
Well, there was problems.
Did you have any intent not to see this child, or you just said that just so she'd marry you?
It wasn't for her to. She asked me to marry her. I didn't ask her to marry me.
That's what I just said. You did that just so you get married.
He asked me thousands of times to marry him, and I wouldn't.
And you should have kept saying no.
I so certainly should have.
Okay, so all of the times you said no, suddenly you asked him to marry you. Why?
Because I thought what I fought for 10 years was going to come my way by him giving me that answer that he was going to have nothing to do with this baby. And seeing that he couldn't live with himself and live without his family members, everybody shut down on him when we got married.
So you already had a child by him as well?
Excuse me?
You had a child by him as well?
Correct.
So you thought that if you said to him, marry me, that would distinguish you and your son. Is it a son or daughter?
Two
you
sons.
and your daughter that you had with him
2 sons.
from this other one.
2 boys.
I had
I
a
have
son.
2 boys.
Well, is it son or daughter?
He has a daughter out of...
I asked, what do you have together?
I have a boy, a son, and I have one from a previous relationship.
You have a child from a previous relationship.
Exactly. And that
how old
raised
is the child from the previous relationship?
17 years old.
And I raised
and
them
you
for
guys
10
have been
years.
together for 11 years?
Correct.
So you telling me that he raised your other child? Mm-hmm. But you have the audacity to tell him not to raise his own child.
I came as a package when he dated me.
Oh, you sound like a zip dang fool. A zip dang fool. How the nerve of you, somebody takes care of your child that's not his biological child, and you get selfish and say, but don't take care of your own son?
We had split up relationships for the last 11 years where we separated for 2 weeks. I assumed he was at home getting his life together. Who knew that he was out having an affair?
You were gone from it.
He knew where I was 24 hours a day.
Didn't matter. You were separated for 2 weeks. You don't know what he was doing.
Exactly, but he knew everywhere I was. He has that controllingness of him. He has to know where I am, but I can't know where he is.
Now you sounding like you're talking in circles. You're talking like riddles. Now I don't know what you're talking about and where you're going.
It's true.
What are you talking about?
He would know where I am before he made his plans.
We're talking about the fact that he raised your child that was not his, and you had enough nerve to tell him not to be bothered with his own flesh and blood.
If it's his. If it's his, let him go, so be it.
Even if it's not his, he raised yours and it wasn't his.
I came as a package. He accepted me.
Oh, you
I
think
don't
you all of
accept,
that, huh?
I'm not accepting him as a package. I'm accepting him as him.
No. You accept him as a package whether you wanted to or not, because you married him and there was a package out there. Not only was it a package, it was a load.
Didn't do it.
Well, then you shouldn't have ever said I do, talking about I want a divorce all of a sudden. Nothing new under the sun. You know exactly what was going on.
Sure did.
Talk to me about something else, because she getting on my nerves with that.
When divorce court continues.
He had sex, I didn't have sex.
Now you really sounded like an idiot. He had sex, I didn't have sex. What were you doing?
I laid there. I didn't enjoy it.
Is your marriage ending because your spouse had an affair with your friend or relative? Call us at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at www.divorcecourt.com. Divorce court continues in the case of Tina Marie Finwar, who says she married Jeffrey Nail because she did not want another woman to have him.
So now you're mad at his family because his family had something to do with his other child as well.
Correct.
And all of the years that he was with you and he was raising your other child, his family had something to do with your child that wasn't his.
Not the whole time. Maybe for the last 4 years, that's it.
Please.
My father...
Believe me, we had to grow
My father
into
did
this.
not even know about this child, neither did I, till 8 months after the fact. I got a phone call.
So that's why you go
And
run
I
to the
told my
hospital?
dad, I sat downstairs, went to my father, says, Dad...
So you didn't know this was your child until
Not
8
for-
months after the child was born?
No, 8 months when
Into
she
the
was
pregnancy.
pregnant.
Okay.
I did not know that she was pregnant. She called me up, and
Okay.
she says, Jeff, I'm
I'm
pregnant.
pregnant.
And she goes, it's up to you if you want to have anything to do with this. I'm not going to force you to have a relationship with the baby if you don't want to have one.
So you went out and had a fling while you was living with Mrs.
No, we separated like she said. We separated.
So you were separated for 2 weeks before you got married, and you went out
No,
and
it
had
wasn't
sex with
before
somebody
we
else.
got... This was a Christmas ago.
I said before you got married. You
Well,
only been married
yes,
for 3
well,
months.
we've been married
I
2...
know it's confusing to you because you live together like you were married, but you only been married
Right.
for 3 months.
Then yes.
Okay?
Yes.
So I'm talking about the legal marriage, not the shacking.
Okay.
Okay? So I can make it real plain what I'm talking about.
Even when we
I
were
know
married, he was at her house.
So then you found out you had a baby by the other woman,
Right.
and you had to make a choice, and that's when she said, either be with me and marry me and promise not to have anything to do with this child.
That's what she said. But it was also when the baby was born, when I bought diapers, a playpen, everything, she got mad because she says, you're taking it out of our household. And I says, but the girl makes not that much money, and I just tried to help out. If the baby's
What do you mean
mine,
tried to help out? You did
I
what you
did
were
help. I did what I was
supposed
supposed to
to do as
and
a
she
father.
didn't like what I did. So if that's on me, that's on
And
me.
you probably bought clothes and shoes and stuff for your daughter that wasn't her child.
Yes.
Your child,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Your son. And you have another child too, right?
I have a daughter that's 14.
What's your attitude about the 14-year-old that you knew about before you ever hooked up with
She's a
him?
good girl.
Huh?
She's a good girl.
Oh, so he can do something for her? Can he do anything for that daughter?
He
with
doesn't
your
have-
blessings?
He has a phone relationship with her. She doesn't come spend time with him like he spent time with
She's
our
getting
kids.
older.
What's your
she's got
attitude
more
about him
friends.
and the relationship with the 14-year-old? Does he have your blessings in that one?
Correct.
As long as she doesn't come to your house.
No, she's welcome.
Oh, but it's okay because that relationship is only phone.
That was before me.
Oh, it was before you. So was the other one.
That was my first wife. I was married to her.
But can you buy her clothes and shoes?
Oh, I'm going
and take
to.
money out of the
I'm
house?
going to, whether
Everything,
or not.
yes. He takes care of her completely.
So you don't hate her?
No.
You're not upset about her?
No, not at all.
You haven't had arguments over her? Uh-oh, you
yes,
gave her a
we
look
have.
like...
We've had many arguments over
What's the arguments over that daughter?
It's just that my time was being spent with her and not with her.
With your daughter and not with your wife?
This is when we first met,
Uh-huh.
me and Tina. When my daughter would call and I wouldn't go by her, I'd say, well, I'm going to go see Megan. Well, didn't you just see Megan? And she'd get a little upset about it.
That's because there was no trust there, Your Honor. And every time he said he was going somewhere, he wasn't going.
Well, so if you knew all of this, for 11 years, why are you dealing with the man?
I have no idea.
Yeah, you do.
It's an on-cycle thing.
Was it sex good? Was it sex good?
No.
What was he offering you then?
The sex thing was because of the fact that if I needed something, the only thing that kept us going back to each other, and when we were separated, is either he would miss me and he would want something from me, and if I needed money to get something through my household, he would say, "What's in it for me?"
Yeah, see,
and then what'd you do for
I'd have to go there. He had sex with me. I didn't have
if
sex
she
with
says
him.
So in other words, you sold yourself to him to get
Exactly.
money?
The divorce court continues.
The light bulbs went on in his head before they went on in yours.
It was always on in my head, but I just had a dream that thought something would come true and it never did.
No, honey, you wasn't dreaming. You
Yes, I was.
No, you were having nightmares.
Exactly.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at www.divorcecourt.com. Divorce court continues in the case of Tina Marie Finwald, who says she had sex with Jeffrey Nail so that he would pay her bills.
He should have gave me money to support my child and support his child without any hesitation, without asking me what's in it for me.
And so, if you called and said, I need money.
Correct.
That's how you guys were together back and forth for 10 years.
That's why it's always been
I
like this.
paid the household electric bill for her. I paid the phone bill for her without hesitation with it. It's not if. It was paid, taken care of. And plus, I had a child support order on me. When they took money out of my check, I'm not going to sit here and tell you. I'm not going to sit.
I don't care
no,
what
it was
they
not
took. If the court ordered $78,
it was
that's what it was.
$300-something a month.
Yeah, but
I'm
he
not going to say
worked one
I
company.
paid the full amount of $348.
I don't care.
I was trying to take care of my daughter and my son.
So the point
whatever
is
I had to do to throw
So
that
now
money
the
each way.
$78 that you give me, you got to split that between 3 kids.
But if she came over and had sex with you, you gave her $300 or $400 or $500.
It wasn't. If she come over,
Is that what you're saying?
It would be. I'd come
It was
home.
never that
I would
amount.
come home. She wouldn't. I'd say, babe, the kids ain't around. Do you want to go have sex? Do you want to go make love in the bedroom? Because I'm not in the mood. And if I would say, well, do you want $100? It'd be boom. It'd be that fast.
Wrong.
It's
wrong.
So when you just said that in order for you to get money.
That's when he was at home to his dad, so I can go there to his family member's house to go there because I didn't want him to come to my house. I'd have to go there.
What are you talking about? Say that to me again.
I'd have to go to his house.
Yeah.
And he would say, no one's home. Why don't you come upstairs?
Uh-huh.
I needed my car payment or I needed my electricity bill paid. I went.
So you went over to his family member's house and went upstairs and had sex with him to get your car bill paid.
He had sex. I didn't have sex.
Now you really sounded like an idiot. He had sex. I didn't have sex. What were you doing?
I laid there. I didn't enjoy it because
I didn't ask you whether you enjoyed it, but you participated in the act.
I did.
Enjoyment of the act is not the issue. Having sex is you were lying there, allowing him. Oh Lord, I don't need to get that description. Oh boy.
But it was just like that towards the end, and that's how it was.
But yet you married him.
Yes, I did.
That is the most asinine thing I've ever heard of.
Yeah.
And you are not 16 years old.
I know.
That is crazy. How do you explain this to your children?
I don't. That's why when my son came to me at 17, my 17-year-old came to me and says, Ma, I see you trying every single day. What is wrong here? You can't do this. That's when I said, Jeff, we can't do this no more.
So your 17-year-old saw the light. The light bulbs went on in his head before they went on in yours.
It was always on in my head, but I just had a dream that thought something would come true, and it never did.
No, honey, you wasn't dreaming.
Yes, I was.
No, you were having nightmares.
Exactly.
The divorce court continues.
Oh, this is utterly ridiculous. You have anything else to say, Mr. Nail?
No, ma'am.
Because I'm about to take this hammer and nail it to the wall.
Divorce court continues in the case of Tina Marie Finwald versus Jeffrey Nail. Tina says she's divorcing Jeffrey because he had a baby with another woman.
I have been mentally, physically, and verbally abused for 10 years. I'm done.
And you married him.
And I married him, and that's why I'm here, because I'm done with that, too.
Okay.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Okay. And now he's supposed to pay you spousal support, huh?
I need help with the things that I have to take care of in my life to go on.
Really?
Yes, I want to go on with my life.
So you may just have to do what you've been doing in the past.
Well, then, you know what?
You may just have to call him up and say, do you want some? And he say, yeah, and you say, give me $100.
Well, then, if that's how it's going to be, then I don't want it. I don't want the $100.
You're not entitled to spousal support. You were married for 3 months.
I've been with him for almost 11 years.
We don't deal with that. You can be with him all your life. If you don't ever marry him, you don't get spousal support. That's your fault.
Well, then I'll take it back to court.
There was
for
no
child
benefits
support.
gained during that whole time, except whatever you got from him during the time you were with him in and out.
Believe me, when
but
I
under the law, you didn't gain any rights as wife. None. Social Security, spousal support, health insurance, none. Zip. Zero. Should have married him 10 years ago and then put up with the madness. But you put up with the madness without the benefit of marriage.
Exactly.
So now you're left whole in the bag.
That's okay. But you know what? I got pregnant with him, with his child, and I fought for what I wanted for 10 years.
No, you fought for what you wanted, right?
No, what we
No,
what
no.
we
You said,
needed.
you know what? For the last
What we
for the
needed.
last few minutes, you've said, I fought for what I want him to take care of the
as
other
kids.
child. I wanted him to marry me. It's I. You
That's
never
right.
said I fought for what we wanted. I tried to make our relationship
I
work.
gave him what he wanted. He wanted to marry me for 10 years ago, and I said no. I thought giving him what he wanted, being his
Now,
wife,
when he
wouldn't make
asked you to
difference.
marry him 10 years ago, you wouldn't marry him. Why? Why not?
He doesn't even have a 40-hour-a-week job. He didn't even have a job then.
And he never had one, right?
No.
But you stayed with him all that time.
We worked on it. We did the best we could together.
Oh, this is utterly ridiculous. Well, you have anything else to say, Mr. Nail?
No, ma'am,
Because
I
I'm
do.
about to take this hammer and nail it to the wall.
No, ma'am.
Hit him
Okay,
with it.
this relationship is nailed to the wall and you don't get any support. Case
All
adjourned.
rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
Utterly ridiculous. Don't you learn some lessons before? Now, if he went out and if he went out and had a relationship with the other woman and she got pregnant and he now has a child, she thinks because she demands that he marries her,
Yeah,
that's going to keep him from the other woman.
that's
Absolute insanity.
that's just so selfish.
That's
You
past
take
selfish.
care of my son and our son and ignore your own.
But ignore your own child.
Ooh, that's not right. That's not right.
And he was a fool for agreeing to that.
Well, yeah, he should have never done it.
I would come into the room and Rick would be watching his pornographic movies. He just grossed me out.
Oh, I had a couple porn tapes. I used the internet. I mean, I had to do something. I mean, I sure wasn't getting it from her.
That's your husband. You wouldn't have sex with your husband?
There was no foreplay, nothing.
So you just felt like he just jumped on you, had sex, and it's over?
Yeah,
Flim,
and
flam, bam, thank you, ma'am, boom.
That's right. Yes.
Last 5 years, twice a year. I mean, come on now. I get a chance and I go for it.
This is a very frustrating situation. Joe, you got some answers.
I don't have the answers from over here.
I need some help over here, Joe.
I just soon stay out of this one, Your Honor.
Julie Ritchie says her husband Rick would watch his pornographic videos in front of their children, so she is walking away from the marriage, but wants him to pay her spousal support in today's session of Divorce Court.
All rise. Court is now in session. Judge Maybelline Ephraim presiding. You may be seated.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen. This is the matter of Julie Ritchie versus Rick Ritchie. I am advised that after 20 years of marriage, you're divorcing. You want him to pay you spousal support. And your husband wanted sex and you didn't. And he found another way to get it and you didn't like it. Talk to me, Mrs. Ritchie. What's going on?
That's
After
true.
20 years.
I had enough of it, the porno movies, and not caring if anyone sees it on the TV. My kids would come in the room and he'd be there on the couch.
That's not true.
Why is your husband on the couch? How'd you get to this
that's
point?
not true, Your Honor.
All right, well, you talk to me and tell me what's going on.
I wouldn't sleep with her. Nothing would happen in the bedroom, so I moved myself out to the family room. I waited till the kids were at bed, at least 10, 11 o'clock at night.
When did all this start?
Last 2 or 3 years.
So what's all of this stuff? What did you do?
Well, I was watching, a couple videotapes, or I'd be on the computer looking at a little bit of stuff. But
Come on now, you're an old grown man. Why we got to talk stuff? Look, he had a
Okay.
little bit of
Really?
stuff.
Well-
And I have a couple of videotapes on.
Yeah,
Those
it's
are the,
looking at porn.
That's the
Okay.
term you use for your children.
Okay.
You looked at pictures that had sexually explicit activity going on.
Yes, ma'am.
Is that what you
was
looked
it.
at?
That's what I looked at.
And you bought videos like that.
I had a couple videos
And
like
you
that.
had the channel, the adult channels that had that.
No, I didn't.
Oh, it was all videos.
Just video.
Okay.
Oh.
And so late at night, you entertained yourself by that, as opposed to going into the room where you had a live person.
Oh, she wouldn't
your
do
wife.
anything, Your Honor.
Oh.
She hasn't done anything for years.
She wouldn't have sex with you?
No.
Why not?
No.
Ask her. I mean,
Okay,
every
why
time.
not?
Because he just
what? That's your husband. You
wouldn't.
wouldn't have sex with your husband?
there was no foreplay, nothing. It was just 1, 2, 3.
So you
That's
couldn't
it.
teach him to
It was
have
cold.
foreplay?
I tried. I tried in the
Oh, no,
beginning.
she
I
didn't.
said, slow down.
She, you know,
he wouldn't,
she wouldn't work
he
with
Wait a
wouldn't
minute now.
listen.
It seems
He
like it
wouldn't
must have
listen to
worked.
me.
You got 2 kids out of this, so at
He
some
wouldn't
point it
listen.
worked.
He doesn't listen to me.
What do
I
you
told
mean by
him,
that?
slow
In
down.
20 years, the
Yeah.
two of you haven't figured out how to sexually please each other.
That's right. But not me, anyway. He didn't please me.
In 20 years, you couldn't read a book, you couldn't talk, you couldn't write a letter, you couldn't write a note, you couldn't leave pictures and draw pictures. You couldn't do anything to figure
I
out.
tried to
No,
show
she
him.
didn't. Your
I
Honor,
tried to show him.
she tried to say, go slower,
and
but
it
she
was
wouldn't.
like his mind was shut off.
What do you mean you tried to show him?
I'd say, slow down, you're going too fast. It's like 1, 2, 3. I said, what's the hurry? Just slow down. And he didn't even listen. It's like he couldn't even hear me.
So
He
you
was
just felt
so
like he just
into
jumped on you,
himself.
had sex, and it's over.
Yeah,
Flim,
and
flam,
that-
bam, thank you, ma'am, boom.
That's right. Yes. And the snoring after. Yes.
Well,
Wow.
Your Honor, we had sex once or twice a year.
Huh?
I mean, that's it.
Married
Last
people?
5 years, twice a year. I mean, come
right.
on now. I get a chance and I go for it.
Twice in a year for married people?
Yeah, what do you think
And
I
the-
won out of this marriage? I got
He
a high
wanted
maintenance roommate.
nothing but sex out of this marriage.
Why
from the very
would you call it
beginning.
nothing but sex when he settled for twice in 1 year?
He had his videos and his pornographic,
That doesn't-
satisfying himself.
Oh, come on, Mrs. Ritchie. How often do you think you should engage
What
in
about
sexual?
me? What
I'm
about me?
asking you. How often do you think? You said all he wanted was sex. What
Right.
did you want?
I wanted someone to hold my hand, to hug me, to love
come
me.
And
not
in
just
20
use
years
me
you didn't
as
get that?
As a tool.
In 20 years you didn't get that?
No.
That's how many
Every
times
time
I've
he
been
touched
around.
me, it would be, if I touched his hand, it would be, oh, sex. And that would
Intercourse
be it.
every time.
Yeah.
Well,
if I
Your
touched
Honor,
him. So
I didn't
then
get
if
any.
there were years go by, I'm not hugged, I'm not touched. I was sexually deprived too.
Why didn't you hug him?
I did, I would, but then he would think
Your Honor,
that we could have to go to the bedroom then.
So there was absolutely no touching,
No.
no romance,
No.
no hugging, no kissing,
No.
no patting on the behind, no rubbing
If
the
it's a-
all
a
that
pat
other good
on the
stuff.
behind.
Unless none of that except sexual intercourse. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes. First time we ever did it. I mean, our wedding night, 5 times in a row, and that still wasn't enough. He's still ready to go for more after 2 hours. I said, we got to get out of the room.
So you got turned off on the honeymoon night then, huh?
Yeah.
And after that, you're like, this man is crazy and wild for sex.
Right.
What is going on?
Because that turns me off. When I'm used as a sex object.
Why do you think
I'm
you're
not
used
the
as a sex
person.
object?
Because it could be anybody there to gratify him.
but it
Honestly,
hasn't, Your
okay,
Honor.
let me ask him that. Could anybody
It could
gratify
be
you?
anybody. Yes.
Well,
Your
has
Honor,
there been,
I've never slept around since
has
I've been
there
married.
been anyone else to gratify you?
No.
So then obviously
I mean,
that's not the truth.
Maybe nobody would put up with it.
Oh, come on now.
Come on
All
now.
these,
No.
you are dreaming to think that nobody would put up with him. Do you understand that there are women who would put up with him if he was doing nothing, if he didn't have any money? Had it come in here.
Good,
if he didn't
let
have a
him go
job,
for it.
if all he had was sex,
Let
they
him go
would,
for it.
they would just love him to
If
death.
that's all they want, if that's all they want out of a marriage, fine.
When divorce court continues.
What'd you do to fulfill your sexual pleasure?
I pleasured myself.
So you played with yourself? Wow, you all, this is really sickening.
Is your marriage ending because your spouse was a shopaholic? Call us at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at www.divorcecourt.com. Divorce Court continues in the case of Rick Ritchie, who says he had to watch pornographic videos because his wife Julie refused to have sex with him.
Did you guys date? Did you guys talk about what you expect from a marriage, what you expect from a relationship? Did you date and do any of that?
We dated about 5 months.
Okay, during the 5 months, did he hold your hands? Was he romantic?
Yes, he was. He was. And the minute the wedding ring went on, it was like a different person. Completely different person.
And did
He
you
had a
become a
bad
different person
temper.
too?
No. I said, what you see is what you get.
Now tell me, you expressed to him during the dating, you didn't express any sexual desire to a man that you say is horny as I don't know what, and he married you anyway. I don't believe it.
He was a different person when we were dating.
No, and you were a different person too. You probably were all over
I responded
him.
to that person. I responded to that person.
We go out.
You were all over him probably too during the dating.
No.
No, but we,
Okay,
Your
Mr.
Honor,
Ritchie,
we go out for a date.
Mr. Ritchie, come on. She didn't show that she had any sexual
I
instincts during the dating?
Yeah, she responded. I mean, we go out on a date Friday night, Saturday night. You know, we ended up in her apartment or my apartment.
And when you ended up at her apartment or your apartment, what'd you do?
We have sex.
We'd have sex.
Okay, and you know,
And that's
maybe
before you married, but once you married him, you couldn't give him sex Friday and Saturday night?
barely.
No,
I mean, for the
because
first couple of years,
he
but
changed the day the wedding band
No,
went
he
on.
didn't
He wasn't a
change.
nice person anymore. And then after the wedding band's put on, it was like the next. It was the first week we were married. I didn't want to have sex one night. I was tired. And he said, well, we're going to set the alarm clock for the morning.
oh, I never did.
Okay.
Yes, you did.
Hold on
Yes,
a second.
you
Let me
did.
hear this.
Okay,
Yes, you did.
Oh, wait. Let me hear this because
You
this is
did
unique
too.
and different.
Yeah, now we're getting down to the crust of it.
So he set the alarm clock.
He set the alarm clock, but it didn't go off in the morning. I'm laying there on my pillow, and all of a sudden, like that, on both sides, as hard as he could on the bed, my head's in between.
What do you do? Hit the bed?
He hit the bed with both fists and with my head in between on the pillow, like that. And it just scared the living daylights out of me. And he was screaming over me.
What was he saying?
Profanities and screaming, you don't want sex, blah, blah, blah.
Oh, my God. You are really kind of
screaming. And I was afraid the neighbors were going to hear him. And I was scared because I had never seen the temper. That was the first time the temper.
Just because the alarm clock didn't go off to alert you for sex?
I don't remember
he had
this,
a
this
temper
thing at
tantrum,
all.
but a violent one.
Oh, my goodness.
The
That's
yelling.
frightening.
I can't take. Oh, when
But
he
how do you
yells.
stay with it for 20 years then?
I learned to get around. We called it the kids and I called it his hissy fits. I learned how not to provoke them by challenging him because I provoked him once.
So you're telling me you lived in the house
married.
with him for all those years and you never had a desire for sex?
Yes,
When
I
you
had a
approached
desire
him?
for sex. I had a desire for sex.
So what
yes.
did you do to fulfill yours?
In the beginning, yeah, we
No,
had
we're not
sex.
talking about the beginning.
Oh,
What'd you do to fulfill your sexual pleasures?
I had to pleasure
We know what
myself.
he did. What did you do?
I pleasured myself.
So you played with yourself?
Sometimes, not that often. It just.
Wow, you all, this is really
But he
sickening.
he has a violent temper.
So you have two people in the house together, and according to even biblical prescriptions, the bed is undefiled. You're married. You can do whatever you want to do. And you're in the bedroom, in the bed,
No.
gratifying yourself.
No.
And he's in the living room on the couch.
No, that was years down the line, Your
That's what
Honor.
I'm saying.
That was years down the line.
That's utterly
We're talking
ridiculous.
20 years.
The divorce court continues.
This is a very frustrating situation. Joe, you got some answers.
I don't have the answers from over here.
I need some help over here, Joe.
I just soon stay out of this one, Your Honor.
If you would like to have the judge hear your case in divorce court, call us toll-free at 1-877-311-2222 or log on to our website at www.divorcecourt.com. Divorce court continues in the case of Rick Ritchie, who says he only had sex twice a year with his wife, Julie.
He turned me off. He turned me off.
That's pretty sad.
It is.
I give it time. You know, I wanted to make
thought
it work.
would work too.
And
Right.
we talk, we're friendly, we're like good roommates, and that's about what we are.
Right.
What can you say to your children? Are they boys?
Yes.
Yeah.
What can you say to them? This is a weird relationship. They're not learning normal
It's very
relationships.
weird. So I finally had enough of it, and I wanted to live a normal life.
What do you call normal? So when you get with the next person, tell me. Give me your idea of normal.
A loving relationship with.
But in order to get love, you have to show love.
I know.
In
and
order
I'm
to have someone romance you, you've got to do a little romancing.
I'm a very affectionate
In order to have
person.
someone be affectionate to you, doesn't sound like it to me.
Not with him. I'm not. No.
But it's been almost 20 years. You don't know if you're affectionate at all.
I know I'm affectionate.
So what's your idea of affection?
Hand holding, hugging, little pet names.
So why can't you do that? Why didn't you exercise, practice any of that with your husband?
We tried. We're just not sexually compatible. What I want and he wants are two different things.
But that's what I'm trying to figure out. What you
It's
want?
two different
You want
things.
a lot of foreplay and hand holding and petting and touching and rubbing and feeling.
Not
Why
a
you can't
lot.
be touchy feely?
Not
Why
a
you can't
lot.
feel her a little more?
How about 15 minutes?
Tried.
How about 15 minutes?
Instead of 3 minutes?
There wasn't even 3 minutes.
Oh, so
Oh,
that's what
come
the
on,
problem
you're-
is.
Yes.
Oh, you were too.
He
You
was
know, I
ready,
always
set to go
frustrated.
constantly.
See, but
I've
when
never
you have
got to
when
the
you have
point-
this build up for 90 days.
We had that build up before we were married.
But I'm saying,
Well,
but when you
yeah,
have a
but-
build up for 90 days, the doctors will tell you, medical books will tell you, and a man get into the excitement and it's been 90 days, he's going to ejaculate quickly.
What does that do for me, though? I mean, nothing.
Well,
I don't know.
I need to
This
practice.
is a very frustrating situation. Joe, you got some answers.
I don't have the answers from over here.
I need some help over here, Joe.
I just soon stay out of
I
this
don't
one, Your
think
Honor.
it's funny.
Oh.
I don't think this is
No,
funny
it's
at
not
all.
funny.
No,
I
it's
don't, but
very
I'm serious.
sad.
I don't have. So, are you in another relationship?
Yes.
Oh.
I think she started it pretty soon after I moved out.
How long you been in this other relationship?
After he moved out, I met someone that I have things in common with.
How did you meet
He had
somebody
nothing in
that
common with
quickly?
me.
He's only been out
Yeah,
of
she
there.
met him at work.
He's only been
It's
out of there
somebody-
4 months. How'd you meet somebody that
It's
quickly?
somebody I've worked with for a while. And that was a friend, just a friend.
And so he's been holding your hands a while since you've been working.
No,
So how do you know that you're so sexually compatible that quickly?
because we were.
How you know?
After my husband moved out, it was more than friendship.
But he's only been gone 4 months.
But I had talked to this person and been close friends with him and confided in him for several months.
So you all have been talking about the lack of compatibility of your husband.
The problem I've had in my marriage. And
So
I
you've
was
been telling him
depressed.
what you want and what you like in terms of sex.
No, I never did that. No.
I don't understand how, as soon as your husband, shortly after your husband leaves, you're able to get into a relationship with someone else and know so quickly that this man is more caring, compassionate, sensitive, and you
I didn't
couldn't
know
you couldn't
that
do the same thing
immediately.
with your husband.
I didn't know that immediately, but I've grown to love this person.
The divorce court continues.
She's leaving our youngest son at home every night right now.
I am not. You big
well, not
liar.
every weekend you are. You're over at this
One
guy's
night.
house.
One night
Oh,
a week.
come on.
And that's
Every
supposed
other
to be a
weekend.
visitation with our son.
Divorce court continues in the case of Julie Ritchie, who says she is no longer sexually attracted to her husband, Rick.
How you fall in love with somebody that quickly?
It's been several months, I know.
Okay.
I know.
That's what you felt about him.
He knows.
It was several months and you
No,
married him.
No, it wasn't the same love with him.
This is different.
It was, right. I'm older now. I'm smarter. I know what I want.
Well, I don't.
20 years ago, I didn't know what I
I'd
wanted.
beg to differ with whether you're smarter. I know you're older, but I'd have to.
No, I'm
It's a
saying
matter of
smarter. I'm not
okay.
going to make the same mistake again.
If you think so, I think you are.
No, I'm not.
All right.
No, I'm not.
I'm not going to
This
argue
guy
with
will
you.
find out.
I'm not going to argue with you.
Yeah,
But
we had a
and
different
probably in
opinion
about,
than you.
just like with him, it was 5 months of courtship, and then you were married, and
It
you
was
thought you were in
different.
love. Okay.
It was different.
All right.
I mean, she's leaving our youngest son at home every night right now.
I am not. You big
well,
liar.
not every weekend you are. You're over
One
this guy's
night.
house.
One night
Oh,
a week.
come on.
And
Every
that's supposed
other
to be his
weekend.
visitation with our son, which
Okay,
never
so you
happens.
want
he doesn't
spousal
call
su-
our son anything.
Okay, you want
I
spousal
had
support.
to support him.
Oh, come on now.
Oh, now
come
speaking
on
of support,
now.
you
That's
supported
not
him?
really true.
I
You
had to
supported him
support
for the
him.
last 20 years?
Oh, yeah.
She's been running temporary jobs for the
So
last
then,
7
so
years.
how are you
Yes,
asking?
and they're steady temporary.
Hold on.
Yeah, right.
If you supported him for the last 20 years, then
come
how are
on
you in my court asking me to order him to pay you spousal support?
I didn't support him for 20 years. In between him losing his jobs, I had to.
I've lost.
And
The
it
four
be-
of us I supported.
Okay.
Come on now.
And so
Joe,
now who's
that's
making
not
the
even
money?
True.
Pardon?
Now who's making money?
I'm still working. Like he keeps, and he doesn't give me any credit for it. He says, "Oh, temp jobs." The temp jobs kept us going, and I never
Honor.
had a break in between.
So how much money are you earning now?
A lot more than him.
That wasn't my question. How much is that?
Over 50.
Over 50 what? Cents?
Thousand.
Over 50,000 a year?
Yes.
So about 4,000 a month.
Yep.
And what is he earning?
I think he's
Right.
still on unemployment.
Yeah.
He's making $8 an hour.
So less
now-
than $1,000 a month.
Yeah.
And you asking me to order him to pay you spousal support?
I want child support.
Spousal support's not child support.
I was told
Okay.
that you
I
asked
already
him
got
for
one of the
spousal
boys,
support.
Your Honor.
Yeah, and he works and he feeds you.
No, he does
Okay,
not.
excuse
brings
me.
home pizza. He works
Let's bring some focus back to what it is. You asked for spousal support, order him to pay you. There's a child support order pending, or you've requested child support of another court. You asking this court for spousal support. I earn more money than him. He's lazy. I've always earned more money than him. Is that what
No,
you're
that's
saying to
not
me?
true. Your Honor.
No, I didn't
Your
always
Honor,
earn
this-
more
Okay,
than
and
him.
you say you supported him.
Yes, in between his jobs.
That's what wives do. That's what husbands do for each other.
Your Honor.
If he's
You
out
never
of
had
work,
to do it for me. I had to.
Oh, Your Honor.
I don't want to hear anymore.
No,
Nope.
just a
Stop.
fact.
Quit while you're ahead.
Oh, please.
Quit. I'm not going to order the spousal support for him to pay you. And you guys have already made your own decision to be apart. So I think now you can make it. Court's adjourned.
All rise. Parties may leave the courtroom.
That's a weird one.
That is.
Now, he wasn't affectionate. He was cold. He wasn't loving. Did you feel
I
any
feel a
heat
pull.
coming from her?
Not from where I was standing.
I didn't feel any heat.
But this is something.
Emotionally, she was like, he?
Yeah.
And I can't believe that she was any differently at home.